morning to employees and pensioners. Let us today discuss about pro rata basis calculation introduced by EPFO for calculation of pension to the beneficiaries of the judgment of 4th November 2022. In this connection, one gentleman, Sri V.R. Balu, who worked with Kerala Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation, filed a writ petition in the Honorable High Court of Kerala regarding pro rata calculation recently introduced by EPFO to the beneficiaries of the judgment of 4th November 2022. He has to pay the difference amount in between the ceiling amount and full wages. On that, he gets pro rata basis pension. He has to pay 28.29 lakhs. On that, by applying pro rata basis calculation of higher pension, he gets additional amount of 31,673 as said by EPFO officials in the Honorable High Court of Kerala. As per the actuary of EPFO, for actuarial valuation done up to 31/3/2019, the return on investment of EPS 95 corpus is 8.5%. Suppose 28.29 lakh is invested in any bank for 8.5% interest per annum. The gentleman gets 20,039 rupees per month as interest. Besides, the entire amount of 28.29 lakhs remains with him. After his death, his nominee gets 28.29 lakhs. What is the excess amount EPFO is paying more than the monthly interest? Is nearly 10,000 rupees. 20,039 is the interest on 28.29 lakhs at 8.5% interest. What is the excess amount he is getting as higher pension? 31,673. That means he is getting 11,000 rupees roughly as additional amount. But EPFO conveniently not saying that what about his contribution under erstwhile Employees Family Pension Scheme 1971. And again, what are his contributions under EPS 95 already made by him up to ceiling, right from 16/11/95 to the date of attaining 58 years. As per the information available, we don't know when Balu attained 58 years. But I will take his retirement date as 28/2/2020 as an example. Then I will tell you how much he has paid as contributions already during his service up to ceiling, exactly up to ceiling, because he retired in a senior position from Kerala Industrial Development Corporation, Kerala Infrastructure Industrial Development Corporation. He must have contributed exactly on the ceiling from 16/11/95 to 29 to 20. I am taking this date as example only. I don't know exactly when he got retired. But as an example, I am taking this date as example. The contributions already paid by the gentleman are 417 rupees from 16/11/95 to 31/5/2001. That is 8.33% of 5,000 ceiling. Again 541 rupees from 160,001 to 31/8/2014, which is 8.33% of 6,500 ceiling. Again from 1/9/2014, he has paid 1,250, which is 8.33% of 15,000 ceiling. Now I will tell you how much he has paid from 16/11/95 to 29 to 2020. His contribution, total contribution is 1,95,980. EPFO has already declared interest till 20 to 23. If the declared interest is applied in this case, the contribution amount of 1,95,980 rupees will become 5,40,832. Please here again the amounts. 1,95,980 is the contribution, and with interest, compound interest, the amount becomes 5,40,832. On this amount, if 8.5% is taken as yearly interest, the monthly interest comes to 3,831. But employee gets only 3,165. 3,165 as pension exclusively on the contribution from 16/11/95 to 29 to 2020. That is 3,165 rupees. Against monthly interest 3,831, he gets only 3,165. That is a difference of 666 rupees per month. This is the amount again goes to EPFO every month. That means to 28.27 lakhs he is paying, we have to add this 5,40,832 also. Then the total, then the amount becomes nearly 34 lakhs. To this again, we have to add his contributions under erstwhile Family Pension Scheme 1971. In addition to that, we have to take into account every month EPFO getting the excess amount of 666 rupees also. If all these amounts are taken, the total contribution to EPFO definitely is 35 lakhs. On 35 lakhs total contribution, he is getting higher pension. EPFO conveniently not telling what is contribution under erstwhile Family Pension Scheme 1971, whatever he has paid during his service as contribution up to ceiling, and what is the pension up to ceiling he is already getting since attaining 58 years. These details are not disclosing by EPFO officials before the Honorable High Court of Kerala. These are the details behind this case. I am telling these are the details. Moreover, as per the affidavit submitted by EPFO before the Honorable Supreme Court, there are 1,26,000 there are 1,54,000 employees who are contributing on full wages under EPS 95. All these people are optees as per the Gazette notification of 16th March 1996 and opted up to 30th November 2004. Please note, 1,54,000 people opted, which is the number as on 31/3/2020, who opted as per Gazette notification of 16th March 1996 and opted up to 30th November 2004. Among these people, among these employees, they attain 58 years as per their date of birth, month of birth, and year of birth. As per their individual date of birth, they attain 58 years, and on attaining 58 years, they will get higher pension. EPFO is issuing them pension payment orders regarding higher pension already before the delivery of the judgment of 4th November 2022. There are 116 field offices under EPFO, that is PF commissionerates. All these commissionerates are issuing pension payment orders to these people, that is people numbering 1,54,000, whoever attained 58 years. And they are getting pension basing on the last 60 months average. I will tell you an example of my friend. His name is Uma Maheshwar Rao. He worked as welder in AP State Road Transport Corporation at Vijayanagaram Depot. His date of birth is 15th August 1957. Hence, he attained 58 years on 14/8/2015. He opted for higher pension as per the Gazette notification of 16th March 1996. That's why he is getting higher pension right from the date of attaining higher pension. That is, for the past 9 years, he is getting higher pension. The higher pension is based on last 60 months average. Now, what the judgment of Supreme Court of 4th November 2022 is saying that the beneficiaries should get pension on higher wages basing on last 60 months wages. Suppose there is another employee with the same date of birth, with the same date of attaining 58 years, as on par with Sri Uma Maheshwar Rao, whose example I just told you. This gentleman is the beneficiary of the judgment of Honorable Supreme Court of 4th November 2022. Then he should get his higher pension basing on last 60 months average, because the same person who has same date of birth and who has same date of attaining 58 years is already getting for the past 9 years higher pension basing on 60 months last 60 months average. Now this gentleman also should get similarly. How can a different method, that is pro rata basis calculation, pro rata basis formula, can be applied to this gentleman? It is against Article 14 of the Constitution. In the judgment delivered by Honorable High Court of New Delhi, delivered by the Honorable Justices Hima Kohli, Asha Menon, in the case pertaining to the discrimination shown by EPFO in between exempted, unexempted employees, they passed the following in their judgment, the following passage in their judgment. I will just read that passage. We thus have no hesitation in holding that the petitioners also form a part of the homogeneous group of pensioners with those who have worked in the unexempted establishments. Any attempt by the respondents to discriminate the petitioners would amount to unintelligible and unjust classification, which cannot be countenanced in law. In view of this finding, we also are of the view that the impugned circular dated 31/5/2017 has made a class within a class and has, without any legal justification, deprived the employees of the exempted establishment from receiving higher salary despite their contributions to the Provident Fund on actual salaries above the ceiling limit. This circular seems to have been issued in haste without any application of mind and is clearly discriminatory and violative of Article 14 of the Constitution of India. The said circular thus deserves to be quashed. I will again read the last part of the para. The circular seems to have been issued in haste without any application of mind and is clearly discriminatory and violative of Article 14 of the Constitution of India. The said circular thus deserves to be quashed. In the similar way, EPFO is discriminating between the employees who are on roll as on 1st September 2014 and benefited one way as per the Gazette notification of 16th March 1996 and in another way benefited from the judgment of 4th November 2022. How can EPFO show discrimination between these two people? Because both people are on the roll as of 1st September 2014. How can they show discrimination for one class of employees who opted for higher pension as per Gazette notification of 16th March 1996? They have already calculated based on last 60 months wages. For another class of employees who are now beneficiaries of the judgment of 4th November 2022, how can they implement pro rata calculation? As per this para, just I read from the judgment of Honorable High Court of Delhi, the pro rata basis cannot sustain in the spirit of the Constitution, that is Article 14 of the Constitution. Further, EPFO till date delivered 4 judgments with regard to higher pension till date. The first judgment was delivered on 31st March 2016. The second judgment, 12th July 2016. Both the third judgment is on 4th October 2016. Fourth judgment is on 4th November 2022. The first 2 judgments, that is judgments delivered on 31st March 2016 and 12th July 2016, pertains to the employees exclusively of Kerala State. All these employees attained 58 years on or before 31/8/2014. Their pension was revised to higher pension basing on last 12 months average. Please hear, last 12 months average. That is the calculation, that is the formula to be applied for those who attained 58 years on or before 31/8/2014. There are EPFO revised pension for 1,175 employees basing on last 12 months average as per the judgment of 31st March 2016 and 12th July 2016. Then automatically EPFO has to revise the pension of the beneficiaries of the judgment of 4th November 2022 as per the calculation method applied to the employees who are on rolls as on 1st September 2014 and who are set for higher pension as per the Gazette notification of 16th March 1996. There is already a precedent which I am just told you. 1,175 employees. For all these employees, the pension was calculated basing on last 12 months' wages. In the similar way, the beneficiaries of the judgment of 4th November 2022, base pension also, higher pension also, should be calculated based on 60 months average, last 60 months average. Any change in calculation of higher pension should be implemented from a future date. For example, they can implement pro rata basis calculation from 1/5/2024 or 1/1/2025, like that. From future date, they may apply, they may implement, provided it is as per the, it should carry justification. The Supreme Court has never given blanket powers to EPFO. Any change in calculation method should be justified by the EPFO. They cannot change the calculation at their will and pleasure. That's why, if at all they want to introduce any pro rata calculation, it should be from future date only, but with justification. Without justification, it cannot sustain in law. That is the submission I want to make today. Thank you.